I'm back. How's it going? I've been in Indiana all week. I was going through my Facebook news feed and somebody was talking about the situation they were in, I guess last weekend, where towards the end of the night, the bar asked the DJ to make last call over the mic. They didn't want to do it because they were in the mix. And then I guess another bartender came in and said, hey, could you make last call? I said, no, I don't do that. And then some off-duty sheriffs that were there for security also asked the DJ to make last call, and he's like, look, I'm not going to do that. I rolled their eyes, just cranked the volume up and kept going, because legally they had no obligation to do this, and they were in the mix, and they wanted to end the night in a bang, and that would have been disruptive to their dance floor to make this announcement. The comments were turned off. I couldn't say anything, and even the poster said, hey, I don't want your opinion on this. I just want to know if you've been in this situation. Yes or no kind of thing. And I went ahead and made a fresh post in the group because, I don't know, I was triggered, I guess, to do that. And I might have been a little harsh, and I apologize for that to the original poster. Although I didn't mention it by name, everybody knew who I was talking about. So I want to talk about working with vendors to ensure the success of an event, be it a wedding or a party or anything else. We're all there together. That's the way I look at it. And I will admit that there's nothing more annoying than being in the mix and having somebody from the hall come up and say things to you like, there's a Toyota parked right in the fire lane. If it doesn't get moved, it's going to get towed. Could you make an announcement that somebody has this Toyota? Here's a license plate number. They can move their car, please. Yeah, you don't want to make that announcement, especially if you're thinking to yourself, oh, I got this perfect mix planned out. It's going to be this and this and this, and it's going to be fantastic, and it's going to rock the dance floor. And that is your thought, and it's like, crap, I got to turn the music down and make this announcement, and it's going to screw up my flow. I get it. It's annoying. But what's the alternative? The Toyota, who was there to maybe load some stuff into the vehicle to get it out of there, some vendor or maybe even a guest, gets their vehicle towed because they forgot about it or they got distracted or something, then they have a terrible night. You just screwed up their whole night because the other vehicle got towed and they got to pay to get it out of impound. They got to pay a ticket. Yeah, it screws up my flow, but you know what? I'm pretty good at what I do. I can improvise and I can do something else, or maybe even something better. You know, sometimes those things we do out of necessity or those things we do under pressure end up being an improvement over what we were going to do otherwise. It's kind of learning to work, quick. Learning to work and think on your feet. And I'm thinking about, there's no law that says they have to make this announcement. No, I don't suppose there is, but I think it's important for vendors to work together. I really do. Think about it. I mean, you're there all day. You're making some announcements anyway, even if you're not particularly an MC in an event. You're on the mic. You're talking to people for requests. You've been there for a while. I don't know that the bar has any obligation to provide you with beverages. Water, soda, or whatever you're drinking to wet your whistle to talk to people when you've been there for, 5, 6, 7 hours. The venue has no obligation to do a lot of things, but I think it's helpful to work with them for a couple of reasons. It makes their job easier, which you may not care about, but ultimately, it's going to make the event more successful, right? I mean, no matter who the vendor is. Sometimes the requests are unreasonable. Sometimes dumb stuff happens. Like the videographer will put their wireless mic setup right next to your wireless mic setup and there's interference. Or they want to run into your board and they haven't said anything ahead of time and you really don't have the stuff there for them to do that. You don't have something that's going to make it easy for you and it's going to be unsightly. Sometimes it sucks when you make a nice clean setup and the photographer just loads stuff behind you and makes everything, look terrible and unsightly. Or they put flash tripods all over the place right in front of you. After you've worked so hard to make it look neat and clean, they've just screwed everything up. But that's what they have to do their job. And I think that we should be graceful about this stuff, especially in the moment. Because if we're not, we're going to screw up what they need to do for the client. If we're uncooperative, they're not able to do their job, and the client's not getting the full stuff that they asked for. They may be getting a great DJ, but you know what? The photographer and the DJ weren't working well together, so the photographer's pictures were terrible. We didn't get the pictures we wanted. Why? Well, the DJ wasn't cooperative. I wanted to set up these flashes, and they wouldn't let me. Well, the DJ is a jerk then. It can come back to you. In the moment, it may seem great, but ultimately, maybe not. Maybe just go with it. Maybe understand that not everyone is as professional as you. Maybe understand that not everybody thought to come up to you 10 minutes before last call and say, hey, look, we're making last call in 10 minutes. Could you plan for that? Like at quarter till, could you make that last call? Maybe the bar got busy. Maybe they got flooded. Maybe something happened. Or they just plain forgot. You know, it happens. Nobody's perfect. Work with these people. I mean, it's not that hard. Because I think ultimately it just ensures the success of an event. And that's the goal, right? For the client to have a great event. Now, if your dance floor isn't as packed as you'd like it to be because you had to make an announcement, that's unfortunate. But it's not making or breaking the event. I don't know. I just don't think it's that big of a deal to work with them. Even if you're a pro, even if you know exactly what you're going to do, you have everything planned out, and it looks great, and somebody comes up and needs you to do something that's going to screw up your flow a little bit, it happens. You may be screwing up the bar's flow going up there trying to get a soda when they got a bar rush between songs. But you know what? They're accommodating. I did a event last summer, and I didn't talk about it, I don't believe, in a video because I didn't want to call anybody out. It was a newer venue. It was built specifically for weddings. It was very nice. And I was there all day long. I was there for a very, very hot outdoor wedding ceremony and a rather long indoor wedding reception. And I talked to the manager early on, who was really nice and very cool, and hooked me up with stuff that I needed or I would like to have, like water and maybe a soda or something. And it was probably about an hour to close. The manager had said goodbye, thank you for everything, you're great, and left. And there were some just bartenders there. I went up to the bar and I said, hey, can I trouble you for a Coke? And they put it on the bar and they said, that'll be $2. Well, the DJ, yeah, I know times are weird now. We got to charge everybody. Well, they didn't, because they didn't earlier. And that wasn't necessarily being cooperative with the vendor. And it did rub me wrong, but I had $2 and I gave them $2. I went back. And then before long, they came up and they wanted me to make last call announcements. Now, I could have said, F you, because you charged me $2 for a soda. Or I can make that announcement. And I did. And I did it with a smile. Because you know what? I'm a professional, and that's what professionals do. It's not about me. It's not about any grievance I have with anybody. It's about the overall success of the event, the safety of others, making sure things go the way they're supposed to go, where they're cooperating with their bar ordinances, the sound ordinances, getting everybody out of there at a certain time, traffic, whatever the case might be, that the municipality wants them to do. I mean, what does it hurt to help somebody out? Even if they've not necessarily been very gracious with you, be gracious with them. There have been times in my life where people have not been nice to me, but I've been nice to them. And eventually, they start to feel kind of stupid about not being so nice to me and start being nice to me. It's happened in relationships. It's happened a lot. When I was younger, less mature, yeah, I was vindictive. And I'll show them. It doesn't serve any purpose. Be the bigger person and do what's right. Even if they weren't necessarily always so kind to you. But most of the time at these weddings, I think most vendors are pretty cool. Sometimes they do things I don't like. I did one last week where they set me up in a place I didn't want to be. But that's where they want everybody set up because of this and this and this and whatever. I just wasn't going to argue. I could have been like, hey, this is my nephew's wedding and it's going to be my way and I'm going to talk to my nephew and he's going to tell you. What's the point of that? Just, you know what? Fine. We'll make it happen. I'm a pro. I can make it happen. So I did. I don't know. Just a quick video for you. Maybe not so quick. But anyway, just a video for you. I'll get more out soon. We'll have a Tuesday DJ Gig Tips tomorrow. We'll also have a Dishaki News broadcast tomorrow night. My show, I think tonight Howie has a show. I'll try to make his show. I'm in the middle of prepping for a wedding. I'm waiting for the client to get back to me, and when they do, we can finish this prep for Friday. Ceremony reception. So stay tuned for all that fun stuff coming up this weekend. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Take care. We'll see you soon. Practice and enjoy.